this video, we will briefly review and discuss the Declaration of Independence, its central relationship to the Constitution, and why an understanding of its principles is essential to the liberties we enjoy today. As we know, the Declaration was formally adopted by the Second Continental Congress, effective as of July 4, 1776. The signers of the Declaration pledged to it their lives, their fortunes, and their sacred honor. On July 2nd, in his inspiring speech to the delegates to unite and formally adopt the Declaration, John Adams seemingly foretold the future. He stated, "But whatever may be our fate, be assured that this Declaration will stand. It may cost treasure, it may cost blood, but it will stand, and it will richly compensate for both. Through the thick and gloom of the present, I see the brightness of the future as the sun in heaven. We shall make this a glorious and immortal day. When we are in our graves, our children will honor it. They will celebrate it with thanksgiving, with festivity, with bonfires and illuminations." The Declaration of Independence has withstood the test of time. It stands as an abiding statement of human liberty and affirms with John Locke that all men are created equal. Thomas Jefferson said, "The Declaration is the declaratory charter of our rights and of the rights of man. The Declaration confirms that these rights are based upon principles of natural law, as well as a legitimate source of the authority and purpose of government." What are the basic principles of the Declaration of Independence? Let's read from the opening lines. "When in the course of human events it becomes necessary for one people to dissolve the political bands which have connected them with another, and to assume among the powers of the earth the separate and equal station to which the laws of nature and of nature's God entitle them, a decent respect to the opinions of mankind requires that they should declare the causes which impel them to the separation. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, that to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed." The basic principles of the Declaration of Independence, the laws of nature and of nature's God, are the foundation of the political principles of American independence. As set forth in the writings of John Locke and Algernon Sidney and others, it means that nature has inherent laws by which each individual has a conscience, accountability for one's actions, and a duty not to harm others or their property. Manifest in British common law and in religion, natural law recognizes the innate ability of all people and their leaders to use reason and faith to choose virtue, the common good, and civility over vice and corruption. The basic principles of the Declaration include the phrase, "We hold these truths to be self-evident." Jefferson used the words in his first draft, "sacred and undeniable." This confirms that there are certain truths that all people are bound to acknowledge, such as the equality of the rights of man, including the right to govern his life and property. Secondly, that all men are created equal. As John Locke wrote, "All men by nature are equal." This cannot be supposed to understand all sorts of equality, but in respect of jurisdiction or dominion one over another, being that equal right that every man hath to his natural freedom. We are all equal in the eyes of our Creator, equal in our natural rights, and equal before the law. Next, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. A religious people rose in rebellion against Great Britain in 1776, and the vast majority of American colonists believed in God, in the Bible, and in the creation of man. Even for deists like Jefferson, there was an acknowledgement that God is the author of liberty and of the natural rights of each person. Jefferson wrote in 1774, "The God who gave us life gave us liberty at the same time." He also recorded that happiness is the aim of life. Virtue is the foundation of happiness. Our natural rights are divine gifts and not subject to human grants. The term unalienable means incapable of being sold or transferred, following the consent of the governed. Governments are properly the result of the choice of the governed. As John Jay wrote in Federalist No. 2, nothing is more certain than the indispensable necessity of government, and it is equally undeniable that whenever and however it is instituted, the people must cede to it some of their natural rights in order to vest it with requisite powers. The people are sovereign, and they delegate to government the power to rule. It is the right of the people to alter or abolish it, and to institute new government under the circumstances of a long train of abuses, consisting of violations of individual and societal liberties and usurpations of power. There is a right and a duty to revolt against tyranny. Abraham Lincoln revered Thomas Jefferson and the Declaration. He said this: "I have never had a feeling politically that did not spring from the sentiments embodied in the Declaration of Independence." Concerning the relationship of the Declaration of Independence to the Constitution, Lincoln wrote a personal meditation as he reflected on the words of Proverbs chapter 5, verse 11, which states, "A word fitly spoken is like apples of gold in pictures of silver." He recorded in this meditation the assertion of that principle of liberty to all in the Declaration was the word fitly spoken, which is proven an apple of gold to us. The Union and the Constitution are the picture of silver, subsequently framed around it. The picture, or the Constitution, was made not to conceal or destroy the apple, the Declaration, but to adorn and preserve it. The picture, or the Constitution, was made for the apple, made for the Declaration, not the apple for the picture. So let us act that neither picture or apple shall ever be blurred, bruised, or broken. Just as Thomas Jefferson and James Madison identified the Declaration as a source of the genuine principles of the Constitution, so Abraham Lincoln viewed the Declaration as the Constitution's apple of gold, or its heart and soul. In this light, the principles of the Declaration form a foundation for understanding the structure and purposes of the Constitution. These precepts include the protection of individual liberty, federalism, and the separation of powers, among others. We will briefly review and discuss these concepts in our next two videos on the Federalist Papers. If you want to learn more about the Declaration of Independence and why its principles matter today, download for free Jefferson and Madison's Guide to the Constitution using the link provided on the end screen. Thank you for joining us. We also invite you to subscribe to Liberty U on YouTube and follow our blog and like our Facebook page.